Welcome back to Swift Recaps. In the near future, NATO entrusts James McCullen, the head of MRS Industries, with developing a powerful nanotechnology-based weapon. This weapon, a set of warheads capable of consuming anything in their path, is being transported by a military convoy led by U.S. soldiers Duke and Ripcord. As they move through a desolate landscape, the convoy suddenly comes under attack by an advanced enemy force. Out of nowhere, high-tech soldiers wearing black armor descend upon them. These attackers, led by a mysterious woman in black, move with incredible speed and strength, taking down the soldiers one by one. Duke and Ripcord fight back, but their conventional weapons are no match for the enemy's superior firepower. Just as all hope seems lost, a highly trained Special Forces team arrives, swiftly neutralizing the attackers using their own advanced technology. This group introduces themselves as the G.I. Joes, an elite international military force specializing in counterterrorism. The Joes' leader, General Hawk, orders his team to secure the warheads and bring Duke and Ripcord to their secret base. Duke, recognizing the woman leading the attack as Anna, his former fiancée, is left stunned. He doesn't understand why she is now working against him. As the Joes take the duo away, Duke and Ripcord realize they have just stepped into something far bigger than they ever imagined. Duke and Ripcord are taken to the pit, the underground headquarters of the G.I. Joe's team. The facility is a technological marvel filled with cutting-edge weapons, training areas, and military personnel from around the world. General Hawk formally introduces them to the Joes: Scarlet, a brilliant strategist and martial artist; Snake Eyes, a silent yet deadly ninja; Breaker, the team's tech specialist; and Heavy Duty, their weapons expert. Hawk explains that the stolen warheads contain nanomites, microscopic machines capable of consuming metal and flesh in seconds. If they fall into the wrong hands, entire cities could be destroyed. The attack on the convoy was orchestrated by the Baroness, a ruthless operative working for an unknown organization. Duke is still in shock, unable to process how Anna, the woman he once loved, has become a merciless terrorist. Meanwhile, Ripcord, always eager for action, expresses his desire to join the Joes. General Hawk sees potential in them, but insists that they must undergo rigorous training before they can be part of the team. As they begin their combat assessments, the Joes receive urgent news. MRS Industries has tracked the stolen warheads to a secret location in Paris. With time running out, they must move quickly. Deep inside a hidden base, James McCullen, the mastermind behind MRS Industries, discusses his plans with his second-in-command, the Doctor. McCullen, also known as Destro, has secretly been developing nanotechnology to create an unstoppable army. The Doctor, a twisted scientist wearing a breathing mask, reveals that the nanomites can also be used to brainwash soldiers, turning them into mindless killers who obey only Cobra's commands. The Baroness enters, reporting that the Joes have the warheads. However, she assures McCullen that their true plan is still on track. The Doctor unveils a terrifying demonstration. A soldier injected with nanomites loses all free will, becoming a deadly puppet. McCullen is pleased. With these weapons and mind-controlled warriors, they will soon have the power to reshape the world. Meanwhile, the Baroness receives a private message from her husband, Baron de Cobra, an influential scientist helping to modify the warheads. Though she hides it well, there's a hint of conflict in her eyes, an unspoken past that still lingers within her. Back at the pit, the underground fortress of the G.I. Joes, Duke and Ripcord begin their intensive training to prove their worth. The facility, a vast, high-tech complex filled with state-of-the-art equipment, serves as a battleground for the recruits to master their combat skills. Duke, a battle-hardened soldier, struggles to adapt to the cutting-edge technology used by the Joes, while Ripcord, despite his overconfidence, finds himself constantly failing the virtual simulations. Scarlet, observing their efforts, makes a snide remark about how real skill trumps bravado. Ripcord, never one to back down, vows to prove himself, much to Scarlet's amusement. Meanwhile, Duke remains haunted by his past. During a break, Scarlet notices his distracted behavior and questions him. Duke hesitates but finally opens up, recounting the tragic events of his past with Anna de Cobra, the woman who is now the Baroness. Years ago, Duke was assigned to a mission where Anna's brother Rex was a scientist working in a classified war zone. Duke had promised Anna he would protect him, but something went terribly wrong. The base was destroyed in an explosion, and Rex was presumed dead. Anna blamed Duke for failing to keep his word, and their relationship fell apart. Scarlet, though stoic, shows a hint of empathy. Before their conversation can continue, an emergency alert sounds across the facility. The Joes have just received intelligence. Cobra's operatives are in Paris, preparing to unleash a devastating attack. The Joes deploy immediately to Paris, armed with experimental accelerator suits, which enhance speed, strength, and agility. Duke and Ripcord, still proving themselves, are given their first real mission alongside Scarlet and Heavy Duty. Meanwhile, the Baroness and Storm Shadow infiltrate a heavily guarded facility, eliminating security personnel with ruthless efficiency. Inside, they retrieve the nanomite warhead and prepare to unleash its destructive power. Their target, the Eiffel Tower, a symbol of European stability. As the Joes close in, a high-speed pursuit ensues. The streets of Paris turn into a chaotic battleground as Duke and Ripcord, clad in their accelerator suits, leap over cars and blast through obstacles to chase the Baroness and Storm Shadow. The civilians panic as the city is engulfed in explosions. The Baroness activates the warhead, releasing nanomites onto the Eiffel Tower. The microscopic machines swarm the iron structure, rapidly consuming it. Duke and Ripcord struggle to stop the destruction, but the nanomites work too fast. The tower begins to collapse, and despite their best efforts, the iconic landmark is reduced to rubble. As Cobra operatives escape with the remaining warheads, Duke pursues the Baroness, confronting her in a close-quarters fight. For a moment, Duke believes he can reach the woman he once loved, but she remains cold and ruthless. Just as he gains the upper hand, Storm Shadow intervenes, knocking Duke unconscious. The Baroness hesitates, but ultimately leaves him behind. Ripcord and Scarlet, unable to prevent the attack, watch helplessly as Duke is captured. The mission is a failure, and Cobra has gained the upper hand. Duke awakens in an ominous Arctic base, Cobra's secret headquarters hidden beneath the ice. He is restrained in a high-tech laboratory, where the Doctor, Rex Lewis, Anna's supposedly dead brother, oversees a sinister experiment. The Doctor, clad in a breathing mask, reveals the next phase of Cobra's plan. With nanomites, he has developed mind-controlled super soldiers, fighters with no free will, programmed only to obey Cobra's commands. His true masterpiece, however, is the modification of the nanomite warheads, designed to cause mass destruction worldwide. Duke watches in horror as the Doctor demonstrates the process, injecting a helpless Cobra soldier with nanomites. The soldier's body jerks violently before his eyes turn lifeless, now fully under Cobra's control. The Doctor grins, explaining that soon, the entire world will bow to Cobra's will. The Baroness stands nearby, watching the experiment unfold. There is something in her eyes, an internal struggle. As Duke looks at her, she quickly turns away, masking any emotions. Despite her loyalty to Cobra, a part of Anna is still present. As the Doctor prepares to inject Duke with nanomites, an explosion rocks the facility. The Joes have arrived. Alarms blare as Cobra's soldiers scramble to defend the base. Destro orders the immediate launch of the remaining warheads. The Doctor, grinning beneath his mask, tells Duke that even if the Joes breach the base, the world is already doomed. At the pit, General Hawk formulates a desperate plan. Using intelligence gathered from Paris, the Joes pinpoint Cobra's Arctic base. Scarlet and Snake Eyes prepare for battle, while Ripcord, determined to redeem himself, volunteers for a risky aerial mission to intercept any launched warheads. The Joes mobilize a full-scale assault, deploying aircraft and submarines to penetrate Cobra's defenses. As their forces breach the icy stronghold, an all-out war erupts. Explosions shake the base as gunfire echoes through the corridors. Duke, still restrained, watches as the battle unfolds. Seizing an opportunity, he manages to break free, overpowering a Cobra guard and retrieving a weapon. He fights his way through the facility, determined to stop the launch. As he moves through the corridors, he encounters Anna once again. This time, she doesn't attack. Instead, she hesitates, giving Duke the opening to escape. She warns him that the Doctor has activated the launch sequence. Meanwhile, Heavy Duty and Breaker lead an assault team through the main corridors, engaging Cobra's forces in intense firefights. The Joes push forward despite heavy resistance. Scarlet and Snake Eyes head deeper into the base, each with their own objective. Scarlet to disable Cobra's communication systems, and Snake Eyes to settle an old score. In a secluded chamber, Snake Eyes finally faces off against his longtime rival, Storm Shadow. Their encounter is inevitable, a battle forged from years of rivalry. The two warriors, dressed in their signature ninja gear, engage in a ferocious sword fight. The clash is intense, each strike calculated, each move countered with deadly precision. Storm Shadow taunts Snake Eyes, recalling their past under the same master. Fueled by revenge and honor, Snake Eyes refuses to yield. The battle reaches its climax when Storm Shadow attempts a final, lethal strike. Snake Eyes, anticipating the move, counters with a swift, decisive blow. Storm Shadow staggers, his body growing weaker. With a final breath, he collapses into the icy depths below, disappearing into the shadows. Snake Eyes, though victorious, shows no satisfaction, only the weight of their history. He retrieves important Cobra intelligence from the chamber before rejoining the battle. Duke, now free, fights his way to the control room, where Destro and the Doctor prepare to launch the remaining warheads. The Baroness, caught between loyalty and love, watches in turmoil. As Duke confronts them, he urges Anna to remember who she once was. Something inside her breaks, memories of her past, of Rex, of the love she once shared with Duke. Overcome with emotion, she turns against Cobra, shooting down several guards and helping Duke disable the launch system. But it's too late. One warhead is already in the air. Destro, realizing his plans are falling apart, orders the Doctor to escape. The Doctor smirks and reveals his true identity, Rex Lewis. He removes his mask, showing his scarred face, a result of the explosion that supposedly killed him. He blames Duke for abandoning him and declares that Cobra will rise again, Before Duke can react, Rex activates a failsafe, locking down the base and initiating its self-destruction. As chaos erupts, Duke and Anna rush to escape. Meanwhile, Scarlet and Snake Eyes fight their way to the extraction point. The Joes regroup as the facility begins to crumble around them. Ripcord, piloting a stolen Cobra jet, pursues the warhead as it speeds toward its target. With precise maneuvering, he manages to override the targeting system and divert it into the ocean, where it detonates harmlessly. Back at the Arctic base, the Joes detain the Baroness, though Duke vows to help her find redemption. Meanwhile, Destro and the Doctor are captured and taken into custody, but the Doctor, now fully embracing his role as Cobra Commander, promises that this is only the beginning. As the Joes evacuate the crumbling facility, Duke and Anna share a final look. Though she is still under the influence of the nanomites, Duke believes she can be saved. The mission is a success, but the war against Cobra is far from over. As the Joes return to headquarters, General Hawk commends the team for their bravery. However, a final shot reveals Cobra Commander and Destro, now imprisoned, already plotting their escape. The battle may be won, but the war has just begun. What did you think of this action-packed showdown? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.